It's Christmas, and that means that the guy in the red suit that can fly around the world in a matter of minutes will soon arrive. Of course, I mean Iron Man. And it's another Iron Man build, this time a very big box. Box number 12. And if you're asking, well, what happened to box number 11? Better stay tuned. This is your Geek Fix. So you might be wondering, what is the deal with the box numbers? Last time even, I did some boxes out of order, and that was because I had a box that had been missing before, and we were going back and doing that box that arrived later on. And now, I'm going from box 10 that we did last time to box 12, which you might be saying, well, why? What happened to box 11? And the answer is, I went through all these boxes, which right now have 7 boxes, and surprisingly, I wasn't looking ahead to make sure that the numbers were right, and so actually I'm still missing a box out of those 7 boxes, which means that there's not much I can do without getting that other box. But this box is so big, and it is Christmas. I mean, how can I not want to open this? And I know what's inside. I know what's in this box. This is the start of something really exciting that we're going to be working on for a while. And I think I wanted it at the beginning. I wasn't sure if I'd actually get it. And so I decided, you know what, I might not be able to complete everything in here. I might not be able to build everything, but we should at least be able to open it and maybe assemble a few things, right? It's worth it, don't you agree? Want to go ahead? Yeah? Okay, let's do it. So we've got some magazines right off the bat. In this case, we have issues 43 through 46, and also this extra booklet that we'll get to in a moment. I've got some parts here. I've got some leg parts. I think this is still a leg part. Look how big these pieces are. I mean, look how big that is compared to my hand. It's huge. We have another foot that we're going to assemble, and the bottom of that foot. And then there's this little box that's on the side, and in there we have, what? Oh, this is one of the gifts. This is the charging, it's a nice thin one too, actually. It would be perfect for my pet boy. But it has Iron Man on the front. It's not charged, but it looks like you have one charging port for charging it, and then one for actually charging a device. So that's pretty cool, like that. And then there's this box right here, which we're going to be coming back to. This is kind of a big surprise that I'm excited about. And we'll go ahead and toss that box. Look at that Hulkbuster. That is something I've always wanted, was actually the one from Avengers. That's actually kind of cool looking. We got the Land of Monsters, which is supposed to be kind of like Godzilla, I guess. And we have some kind of anime looking things going on. We have our Hulkbuster, which is a figure that I would love to have, especially the one by Hot Toys. I think we've already seen this image before. There's some things that are kind of coming back. More about the birth of Tony Stark. This almost looks like the Young Avengers right here. Oh, it is the Young Avengers. Which is kind of the phase that we're getting into now. So we close out our previous phases, including X-Men and Wolverine. Get into the Phoenix Slayer, and even a Doctor Strange Iron Man. That's kind of interesting. And then that brings us to this magazine, which is to put together our premium base. That's right, this box is our base. We're going to start building the base, and this isn't all the base. We're actually going to build it in parts over time. It's going to light up and everything else, but this is a majority of it, I think. So with all that, let's go on and try and build our first part. I think we're actually going to be able to do this without needing the previous box. It's possible. I'm not sure if we're going to have to use anything from that box just yet. So here I've got some parts that look like they're kind of hinged, and it looks like, well, gee whiz. It also says that there's supposed to be some screws. Did I just throw away the screws? I did. They're over here in the bag. So there you go. Always check the bag. Always check the back. So, looks like the first thing I'm going to be doing is I'm going to be taking this part right here and this part right here, and we're going to be connecting them using an LP screw. And it looks like the way that it's supposed to go is that you take this piece right here and this piece right here, and we're connecting them using an LP screw. Okay, so let's bring over our LP screws. It comes with 3 screws because they always give you an extra just in case the bad things happen. I'm still using my red screwdriver even though we got a black one in the last episode. And I don't know, I think I should always do them kind of tight. Something that I've learned and something I have to go back and correct is, so we did these arms right here, which are great. And I tightened them, I thought, pretty well where I needed to, but I was also afraid in the beginning that if I tightened them too tight, they wouldn't move. But as you can see, if I move this arm like this, even though it can pose into that position, when I let it go, the weight of it's so heavy because it's all metal, that even at how tight I did those joints, it's still not tight enough. So I'm gonna need to go back, undo those parts, and then tighten up those screws to the point where it feels like they shouldn't be able to turn. So I kind of did this piece that way too. I did it a bit tight. Maybe even I'll torque it a little bit more. A little nervous at the same time. You don't want to ruin your threads in the plastic, but yeah, I'm gonna do it nice and tight. So there's that one. All right, so there is that part. Next, I'm going to be taking this piece right here, and I'm going to be flipping it over like this. And then I'm going to be taking this piece, and it looks like basically where these 2 holes are right here, I'm going to be hooking this on just like so. This time we're going to be using my other screws. These ones are EM screws. Putting those both right here. Of course, I'm screwing into actual metal this time, so I'm not as afraid of ruining my threads, but for it being a short screw, it sure is taking a bit more to get it into that hole. Oh, there it is. Okay. Woo! There it is. There's that part. So it looks like we're going to be putting this on the back of the leg. This is one of those fins that comes up from the back of the leg. And when you see the model, you might think, well, that is just a little part, a little detail, but look how big it is compared to my hand. That's just a little fin piece that comes up from the leg, so that's pretty amazing. So that's it for that issue, which I'll put over there. Brings us on to issue number 44. I don't know if we're gonna be able to do this one because supposedly what we did in the previous box that we didn't receive yet is we assembled a lot of this leg, which I don't have everything of so far. So as you can see here, they have a majority of the leg that we're going to be then adding some things to. And right at the moment, all that I have is this much of the leg. So there's still quite a bit that we needed to put together. And so this part, I think I'm gonna have to wait until we get that box to be able to put it together. But it looks like once we're done with this issue, or when we get that other box, we're gonna be able to actually finish that opposing leg. So I'm gonna leave this box right here because it does have the numbering on it too, so we'll be able to find the parts when we do put it together. In issue number 45, we're now putting together something that we've done before. We did the other foot in the past, and in fact it was one of the first things we made, but now it's assuming that we finished that leg and we have moved on to working on the second leg. So hopefully this doesn't rely on anything that I should already have. And hopefully this is one of those things where it's easy for me to put together because I've done it before. So it looks like the first thing we're going to be doing is taking this part of the foot and this part of the foot right here, and all I'm going to be doing is dropping it. I'm dropping it down so that this side of the foot right here will have this hole sticking through it, and the key will be on the opposite side. The next thing I'm going to be doing is I'm going to be taking this piece right here, and I'm going to be fastening that on top of this, kind of a little place for it to hide out, like that. See, covering that up. And so I'm gonna need some screws for that. And in this case, those screws are gonna be some EM screws. Once again, I threw a bag over here. Oh, are you kidding me? I keep throwing away the screws. Sure enough, that's what they are. Half the difficulty is just keeping the screws on the screwdriver. Even though it's magnetized, they're just too small sometimes. I'm also doing this tight because the ability of the ankle to rotate will also be based on how tight I've set this, so otherwise it's gonna flop all around. So we want to do it for sure nice and tight on there. Okay, and then look, see how it's harder to move that way? Perfect. All right. And now we're gonna be putting in our lighting, which is right here. And so we're gonna be putting that into this area. And as you can see, here's the battery, I should say. The battery is gonna be connecting right there where that little hole is, so I can put a screw in there. And in this case, I think we're also doing EM screws, sure enough. The hard thing on this one is that there's a magnet in the foot to be able to hold the metal. And so every time I get it near that magnet, which is right next to where I have to put the screw, the magnet is stronger than the one on the screwdriver, which is kind of depolarizing it, making it actually fight my screwdriver. And so that's not good. Oh, there it goes again. I'll try the other screwdriver. See if that works any better. I don't like with this design that there's only one screw that holds that in place, but okay. Oh, that's all the more that we're doing. We just kind of put it in there. That brings us on to volume 46, which is the rest of the bottom of the foot. This time I caught the screws. I didn't throw them away. Ha! Any rate, so here's some more screws, some AM screws as well. And we've got 3 pieces here, which I recognize from the last time we did this. All right, so now I am going to be, oh, we're only assembling the bottom of the foot. We're not putting it, oh, we are, okay. All right. All right, so we're taking this piece right here, first off, and we're also taking this emitter, I don't know what you want to call it, diffuser, and we're putting it inside of here, just like so. So that's all there is to that one. Popping it in, pushing it all the way in so that it just kind of stays by itself. Perfect. Next I'm going to be taking this piece right here, which is actually what holds our LED in place. We're going to be fastening it on just like that. And we're going to be using, to do that, some AM screws, which I have now 2 packages of for some reason. So to do this, these little tiny short ones, okay, there's one, and there's 2. Okay, just like that. And then we turn our page. I'm bringing back our foot that we have our lights in, and I'm going to be sticking that, like I said, the hey, I just noticed something. They never told me. I don't remember them telling me in the last magazine that this piece right here, see this piece right here? That part is supposed to latch up inside of, up in here. Like right there. And so, there we go. I can still get it in there though. So showing how when you get really stuck, you can still easily go back and stick something in if you have to. So I took the battery pack back off, unscrewed it so I can stick this piece through right there, and then it's going to get secured in place by that battery pack, which now I have to secure back down. Alright, now it should hold it down. Alright. See, we can always go back and fix something when we need to. Alright, now it looks like we're just kind of sticking things down in here, hiding them away, as I now take this part, stick it into this little LED, sticking it into here, just pushing it right on in there, like so, as far as I can. And then I'm going to take this and I'm going to stick it together like so, like that. And then I'm going to be using, at this point, which kind? EM screws. So these ones right here, which I think I have the most of actually right now. Got one and two. Did it come with batteries this time? I don't see batteries. I'd like to be able to test this before I'm locking it together, but at any rate. So I've done that. I've screwed it together. Maybe I'll do just a couple more twists. And everything's in place, but I still haven't put this part on. I still don't have the top on my battery yet, so I don't know what that's about, but just to keep it together, I'm still gonna kind of stick it on like that, and quite frankly, I'm just gonna borrow one of these shorter screws, and I'm going to put it on temporarily. There we go. I'll just put it on temporarily. Of course, that's the button that would make it turn on, but right now we don't have batteries yet, so can't do that. So with all of our directions complete now for the body, we're now ready for this magazine, which has to do with our base. Look at that. So that means I'm ready to bring my box, my white box over here, which I believe has that base inside. Oh, there we go. And we'll go ahead and slide that on out. Wow. I have multiple versions now of this base. I have one that's 1/12 scale. I have one that is 1/6 scale, which is pretty cool. I even have one that's for a Funko Pop. But this is gonna be huge. I'm even wondering now, this is also just the centerpiece to that too. So, I mean, it's gonna be probably about, I don't know, this big or something. I mean, that's pretty large. I'm starting to think it's gonna need some property to sit on. I'm opening this up, assuming I'm gonna keep the casing for this, the plastic casing. Wow, even better. Wow, I mean, it looked cool and it looks heavy, but even better, that is metal. That's all metal right there. So naturally it's gonna have to hold the whole big metal figure, but I mean, wow, how cool is that? We've got some wires here. I'll put it right there. I've got a little plastic piece. I hope I'm putting all these things together today. I've got some screws of different sizes. We've got some kind of a plug. And then I've got my, I've got like a little motherboard here. So PCB thing. So what are we going to do today? Well, it looks like we are doing some things that requires me first off to flip this over because we're going to be mounting some things on the bottom. In fact, we're going to be putting together the switch, the button, that's going to be able to turn on and off the lights. This thing will light up onto Iron Man from below, so very neat. So the first thing I'm going to be needing is my button. It says, let's see here. So I need my connector, which must be what this is right here, that has the button, that has this connector. And the connector and the button, it looks like attached to this little piece right here. And then it sticks, it pops right into this, supposedly, like that. Oh, there it did. Now, what we're going to be doing is we're going to be connecting this. It goes right here. This one that's angled is the one that we're talking about right now. And so I'm going to take that. And as you can see, the button has one flat side, and that flat side fits right here. So I'm going to stick this button like, whoops, just like so, on there, like that. Then we're going to take my actual switch with my connector, and we're going to be attaching that right on in there using some EM screws again. So, EM screws. Oh, actually, they gave me some new EM screws. Maybe I'll use those. Okay. Okay. And now, we're going to be taking this little motherboard here, and we're going to be attaching that to these 4 pegs that are over here, kind of right next to that switch that we just did. And as far as the direction of it, it doesn't really say that there is a direction for it, so I guess it doesn't matter. But at least the one that they did, they have G and H are facing the big hole, so I'm going to do G and H that way, just like that. And again, this time we're using HM screws. So for that one, we're going to need 4 of those screws. Okay, almost done here. Last one. Okay. Now, what we're going to do is we're going to be taking this cable right here, and it looks like what we're going to be doing is putting that right into this one, which right into this one right here, just like that. So when we flip it over now, oh, it's so disguised I couldn't figure out which one it was. It's this one right here. So when I push on that, that would be the light, one of the lights. And then there's another button that's going to be going, I think, right over here. So, at any rate. For now, though, that is everything, including my base from that package. So it looks like there's only one part that we're going to need to attach later on and do something with, tied to the previous package, which we're gonna have to assemble when it arrives. Hopefully it arrives pretty soon. So that's it. This Christmas we not only got this gift, but we also got to start on our base on top of the other general parts that we'd be working on. Want to thank Fanhome for providing us with this model to be able to review, but they also gave us a promo code. So if you're interested in purchasing this, use the code Tony Stark. Also, I'll continue to review these as they come out. So if you can't get it, you can also experience this by proxy. Remember to like, subscribe, comment below, keep watching. This is your Geek Fix.